I am Isabella and welcome to the Mio channel. Today I'm going to show you how to make a macrame Christmas tree coaster. This is super pretty. You can use it throughout the festive season under a mug, under a candle, it could be under a vase or just simply on your table to decorate it. It's made with just 2 simple knots and in 3 different colors. Where we use the white string, a yellow here, as you can see, to make the star, and the green to make the Christmas tree. You can have a lot of fun as well to customize it. And perhaps you can make it in green with the yellow star and the white Christmas tree. So you can have a set where you swap the colors. Just use your creativity and make your version of it. To make the coaster, we will need scissors and a measuring tape. But most important, we will need either a macrame board. If you don't have one, you can just use a cork mat with some pins. The reason why we need to use a board is to keep our coaster nice and flat. It's very easy to make the coaster. However, it's very important that we keep the consistency of the knot equal. Otherwise, the coaster is going to go a little bit wobbly or it might curl up. So having a board and be able to pin our coaster as we work through the steps is very helpful. If you don't have either of these, you could also use foam board or perhaps a cushion or a pillow. Anything that you can basically put pins through and keep your macrame nice and flat. So let's start and let's make our coaster. We're gonna start by taking the end of the string and fold it like this to create a loop. Next, we're gonna take our 1 meter string and we're gonna make a reverse larkset knot. So we're going to fold the string, we're going to place it under the loop over both ends of the string. We're going to fold it at the front and we're going to put the strand through the loop and pull. So we have the first reverse larkset knot. We're going to take the next string, fold it in half, place it under the string, fold it at the front, and we put the strands through the loop and we are going to pull. We have 2, oops, we have 2. I'm going to take the next one and going to repeat, and we're going to do this with all of them. And we're going to add 2 more. Okay. At this point, we have the short strand here and we have the long strand. We're going to pull the long strand. Pull the knots, and what we want to create is like a circle. Okay, make sure you pull the reverse larkset knot like that, and then the long string you can fold it. Okay, this is quite long, so I usually gather it like this and then I'll bundle it together. You can use a rubber band or I'll just make a loose knot like this. So next we're gonna pin our circle on our board. This is the guide, the one that we have bundled up. We're gonna take the first string from the larkset knot. We don't want to use the short string, Okay, the other ends of our circle, this one we'll tuck it in later. The guide is always on top of our string. We're going to take the string from the first Laxer knot and we're going to do a double half hitch. So we're going to take the string, it's going to go over the guide like that. It's going to go behind and through this loop. And it's going to go in once and then we're going to do it again. So it goes over the guide, behind and through twice. So this is the double half hitch. We don't want to make this too tight, otherwise our coaster is going to start to curl. You can turn the board. We're going to take the next string. We're going to do the same. So it's going to go over the guide, behind and through, once, twice. Okay. We're going to take the next one and we're going to repeat. The first string is going to go around once, twice. And we don't want any gap between the circle and the new row of double half hitching that we are making. Next string, I'm going to repeat. And we continue with all our strings. One, two. It's a little bit hard at the beginning when all our strings are long, and if it's the first time you're making this knot, but you will get used to it and you're gonna get quicker at it. Most important thing is that you don't make them too tight. Right, we have the last two. So you can see, just almost gone a full circle. Okay, so what we're going to do next, for the next round, we're going to take the next string, we're going to make a double half hitch again. Okay, and at this point, in the middle, we're going to take the mustard string, and with the reverse Laxer knot, we're going to add it here. So it goes under our guide, folds at the front, we're going to put the strands through. And then we're going to continue with the double half hitches with the other strings. Okay, remember, don't make them too tight, but you also do not want the gap in between the rows. Okay, and we continue with our double half hitch. Okay, so as you go around, as you can see, here I have a gap. So I will really have to pull this string over here to make the next half hitches. So every time you find a gap, and here you can see I can fit my finger, that is when we're gonna go and add a new string. You use the string you have prep earlier, and with the reverse Laxer knot, we're gonna place it on the guide like this. It's gonna fill that gap, and then we're gonna go and continue with our double half hitches. If you like, you can take another pin, okay, to help you fix your coaster. it doesn't move. Okay, you can always move your board. That's what I do. And use the double half hitches. So you will find gaps in your coaster, and it all depends on the tension you're using, the type of string. Okay. Here I feel there's a gap again. You can see, and I'm gonna add another string. Reverse laxer knot, so it goes from behind, folded at the front, and the strands go through and continue. Okay, that's where we are going to add our next string. Okay, this is when we're gonna start with our tree. Okay, so I'm gonna massage this. Okay, make sure that it's nice and flat. Okay, it's right. I'm gonna pin it like that, and I'm gonna take one of the green strings that you have pre-cut, so the longer one first. Okay, we're gonna fold it in half, and once again we want to place it with the reverse laxer knot, and we want to make sure that it's underneath the yellow. Okay, so if you want, you can put a pin again so it sits nicely underneath the yellow like that, and then we're gonna go and continue with the double half hitches with the white strings. Okay, so there's a gap here. I'm gonna add a string. Okay, and basically just go around, do a whole circle until you get here, and then I show you how to do the next step. Okay, so at this point we are back under the green. We're gonna use these two strings to make a double half hitch, and basically we want to make sure that they're both spaced equally with the center of our tree. Okay, so we have two, and then we have 4 lines, and we want to make sure that they're spaced nicely to create our tree. And then once again we're gonna go and continue around the coaster to make a line with the white, and then we're gonna be back here, and I'm gonna show you how we're gonna add the next green string. Okay, so go around as we've done before. You can, if this becomes too short, our guide, just undo the bundle. Okay, make your guide longer, just keep going around doing double half hitches and adding strings when you see the gap. Okay, and I'll meet you back at the tree. And we are back here. So the first thing we're gonna do, we are going to use the green string that we have, and we're gonna make a double half hitch. Like this, and then we're going to take our
60 centimeters piece of string. We're gonna place it on our guide with the reverse accent knot. So like that. Nice and tight. And then we're gonna take our next string from the previous row and we're gonna make a double half hitch. So as you can see, right, and you might want to massage here at this point, we want to create a triangle, right? So make sure that you're happy with the position. Okay, I wanna, as I said, you might wanna massage strings. Okay, when you're happy with the location, once again, you go around with your white strings. Okay, and you're gonna go and do one more round. So for this row, we are going to put all our green strings on our guide with the double half hitches. Okay, we are not going to add any new strings. So do your double half hitches, make sure you don't make them too tight. Okay, and you might have to massage them to make sure that you're happy with the Christmas tree. Okay, with the triangle shape. Once you're happy, pull a tiny bit. Okay, so I'm happy with my Christmas tree, and once again I'm just gonna go around with my white, adding where I have the gap, and we're gonna do one more round. And we are back to our Christmas tree, and what we're gonna do this round, we're gonna start with a double half hitch with the first string, double half hitch with the second string, and then in the middle add our last green string, which is 50 centimeter, and we're gonna place it here. In the middle, and then we're gonna finish this round with 2 new double half hitches with the other 2 green strings. Okay, once again, massage your tree, make sure that you're happy with the way it looks and the shape. Okay, like that. And we are gonna go around and do one more of our white strings round. Brilliant. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows of the green. Okay, at this point we're gonna go and do the trunk of our Christmas tree. So once you've done your row of white, we are gonna take one of our 50 centimeter string and we're gonna place it in here with the reverse accent knot. Okay, so we're gonna place one and then another one. So we're gonna place 2 strings with the reverse accent knot. Okay, so what happened is that these two are going to be discharged. Okay, and then we're going to take just one string from the middle, and we're going to make a double half hitch that you want to make sure that aligns with the middle. Okay, because we want this is our trunk, so we want this to be in the middle, right? So this is when perhaps you need to massage some of your knots. Okay, when you're happy. Okay, I'm gonna place this in the middle here. Okay, and then the other string will also be discharged, so we will not use them. And what are we going to do next is take the other two 50 centimeter strings and place them here with the reverse lugs and knot. Okay. Okay, and then we're gonna go and do another round of double half hitches with all the white strings, and if you have a gap, you're gonna go and add some extra strings. This is my guide that is getting shorter and shorter, which is good. I'm gonna still keep it a bundle just so I know that is the guide and I do not get confused with some of the other strings. Loads of white strings. Don't want to take another one by mistake. Okay, and I'm gonna go around. Okay, if you want, you can pin here to make sure that our white string stays nice and neat like that. One more round and then I'll show you how to finish the Christmas tree. And when we get here, once again, we are going to place all the white strings that we've added in the row before with a double half hitch. And then once again, we're gonna place the string that we used here to make this one double half hitch. We're gonna make one more, okay? Make sure it's underneath the one below, and then we're gonna go and continue with all the white. So what we're gonna do next is do one more round of white. We want to go underneath here, so we want to finish now our coaster, and you can do 1 or 2 rounds of just white double half hitches. So it's up to you how big you want your coaster to be, how long your strings are, and just go around. Once you're happy, then I'm gonna show you how we're gonna complete the coaster. So as you can see, I've gone around and now I'm underneath the trunk of the Christmas tree. So I have a gap because I would use the green string, but obviously we are not for this round. We want to have all the white. So this is where I am going to add a white strings, as you can see, and then I'm gonna continue with my white strings. So it's up to you at this point how far you want to go. Measure it, Perhaps if you have a cap, just see if you're happy with the size, and if you are, next step, I'm going to show you how to close the coaster. If you want a little bit longer and you want it a little bit bigger and your strings are long enough, you can just go around 1 or 2 more times. Okay, so this is my coaster. This is where I finish, and this is where my guide is. If it's still quite long, you can trim it. That's what I have done. And then what we're going to do is, with the help of a crochet hook, we are going to take the guide at the back of the half hitches. Okay, might be a little bit fiddly, but we will manage. There you go. Okay, so we want to hide the guide at the back of the double half hitches. So I think if you pick 1 or 2, that it's enough, just so it's nice and secure, and also it's neat. Yeah, and then you can trim it. Okay, so you have a nice edge here to complete. And now I'm going to show you how to do the fringe. Okay, before we go into the fringe, actually what we want to do is to trim the green string. Okay, so I'm going to trim them here. And if you want, you can add a little bit of glue just to fix them. Okay, or you can put them at the back of your half hitches. And this was the beginning one, the first one, so I'm gonna trim that as well. And this one is pretty safe. Once again, you can place this at the back. I'm just gonna trim it. Okay, and there we go. Okay, now we're gonna do the fringe. To do the fringe, you need a template so we can cut all our fringes the same length. All right, so I'm just gonna use the MYO band around the string. Okay, and what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna cut a piece like this, and what I am going to do is I'm gonna fold it in half, and I'm gonna do it this way so I don't see the writing. Okay, like this. So this becomes my template, and what I do, I simply take some of the string, use that as a template, and I trim my string. So at this point, you want to make sure that you have a very sharp scissors, so it makes these steps way easier. And you continue going around, and I have 6 strings, you just trim your strings. Okay, now it's up to you if you would like a longer fringe, a shorter fringe. This is, just for your reference, it's 2.5 centimeters. Okay, I think it's a good length. You could even go a little bit shorter, in my opinion. I wouldn't go longer. And you continue like this. You could also do it one by one. To save time, I'll just do every 5 or 6 strings. so we're almost done. Okay, can you see the length? I feel it's actually a little bit long, so I might just go around and then cut them a tiny bit shorter. Okay, and you can decide the same about the length. All right, and then just go around and just see how you feel. I feel they like to be long, so I'm just gonna go and cut them shorter, and then I'll show you also different way that we can just finish off this part of the coaster. Okay, so I'm happy with the length of the fringe now, and what you can do is you can leave it like this if you're happy. Okay, what I like to do is fluff the fringe so it looks fuller. Okay, and you can use a comb like this, so if you have just a simple one at home. Okay, this one also works really well. And just basically fluff your fringe. And it just makes it really nice and full, and you don't see any gap in between the strings, as you can see. And then you just go around and just trim one more time, so it looks really nice and round. Okay, again, sharp scissors, and you just might want to, yeah, if there's any fluff or any of this string that a tiny bit longer, okay, just trim. Okay, remember, it doesn't matter if it's not perfect. Okay, this is handmade. And as the fringe move, you will see some strings it will just keep changing, and as you use the coaster, it will also change, and that's okay. And voila, our Christmas coaster is done. Well done for completing the macrame coaster. I hope you have enjoyed this project. I hope it wasn't too challenging and you are proud of what you've made, and you're gonna show it off through your festive season all around your house. Thank you for joining the new channel, and we are looking forward to seeing you very soon. Bye.